He survived wars. He survived blockades. He survived political storms. But in the quiet of a military guest house, in the heart of a capital that promised protection, death found him, not on the battlefield, but in the illusion of safety. August 1st, 2025, Tehran, 1:37 a.m., a city asleep under heavy air. Then, a single flash tore the night apart, a sudden blast, a body, and a message crossed borders. No one is untouchable. This wasn't just a murder. It was a statement, a shift in the rules of war, a moment when even the walls of a safe house couldn't hold back history's blade. Tonight, we uncover the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, the man who led Hamas through fire and died in silence. Welcome to the red pages of history, where every episode uncovers the moment a blade, a bullet, or a belief changed the fate of nations. Previously, on the red pages of history, he renamed Rome after himself. He fought in the arena. He believed he was a god, but Commodus, the mad gladiator emperor, was strangled in his own bath by the very hands that once praised him. That was the fall of an empire. Tonight, we witness the echo of that same madness in Tehran. He was born in exile, January 29, 1962, Al-Shati refugee camp, Gaza Strip, a child of the Nakba, the catastrophe that displaced hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in 1948. His family had fled from the village of Al-Jura near Ashkelon. They never returned. He grew up in poverty, in a crowded camp by the sea, in a place where hope was rationed like bread. But even there, he found a voice. Haniyeh studied in UNRWA schools. He lost his father young. His uncle helped raise him. And in 1981, he enrolled at the Islamic University of Gaza, earning a degree in Arabic literature. But it wasn't just books that shaped him. It was the sermons, the student movements, the rising tide of political Islam. He joined the Islamic Student Bloc, the seedbed of what would become Hamas. In 1987, the Palestinian uprising began. Stones against tanks, flags against bullets, and in the chaos, Hamas was born, an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood, blending nationalism with religion. Haniyeh was arrested by Israeli forces multiple times. He spent years in prison. He was deported to southern Lebanon in 1992, along with 400 other Hamas members. There, in the snowy mountains of Marj al-Zuhor, he helped shape the movement's identity. By the late 1990s, Haniyeh had become a close aide to Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, the spiritual leader of Hamas. He was known for his calm demeanor, his discipline, and his ability to navigate both mosque and media. In 2006, Hamas shocked the world. They won the Palestinian legislative elections, defeating Fatah and taking control of the Palestinian Authority. Haniyeh became prime minister, but the victory was short-lived. The West cut funding. Israel imposed a blockade, and tensions with Fatah exploded into violence. In 2007, Hamas seized full control of the Gaza Strip. Fatah retreated to the West Bank. Palestinian politics fractured. Haniyeh became the de facto leader of Gaza. He ruled a territory under siege, bombed, blockaded, and politically isolated. He survived multiple assassination attempts. He led during wars in 2008, 2012, and 2014. To some, he was a resistance leader. To others, a militant politician. To many, a symbol of defiance. In 2017, Haniyeh was elected chairman of the Hamas Political Bureau, the group's top position. He moved between Qatar, Turkey, and Iran, building alliances, raising funds, and navigating the region's shifting sands. He met with Iranian generals. He praised Hezbollah. He maintained ties with Qatar. He walked a tightrope between ideology and diplomacy, and through it all, he remained a central figure in the Palestinian cause, loved by some, loathed by others, feared by many. He was a father of 13, a man of prayer, a man of strategy. He rarely raised his voice. He rarely showed emotion, but his words carried weight. in Gaza's alleys, in Tehran's halls, and in Tel Aviv's war rooms. Ismail Haniyeh was not just a politician, he was a product of exile, a voice of resistance, a survivor of war, and a man who believed that power was not given, it was taken. But in the end, he believed power could be taken, not given, but history has its own reach, and even the most guarded men can be reached. July 31st, 2024, Tehran, 1:37 a.m. The city sleeps. The streets are quiet. Inside the Imam Ali military guest house, the lights are dim, security is tight, walls are thick, and Ismail Haniyeh, leader of Hamas, guest of the Iranian state, is resting after a long day of ceremonies and meetings. He had met with Iran's supreme leader hours earlier. He had praised the new president. He had spoken of unity, resistance, and faith. But history doesn't care about speeches. It cares about silence. And tonight, silence is about to be shattered. Haniyeh's room is on the 3rd floor. 2 bodyguards sleep nearby. The hallway is monitored. The perimeter is sealed. But somewhere inside that building, a device waits. Small, precise, hidden, and armed. At exactly 1:37 a.m., a sudden flash tears through the room. Not a loud explosion, but a surgical one. A precision bomb, remotely triggered, placed inside the wall or ceiling, according to reports. The force is concentrated. The room implodes. Wood splinters, glass shatters, metal bends inward. Haniyeh's body is thrown against the far wall. His chest collapses. His skull fractures. His left arm is severed below the elbow. Blood sprays across the ceiling. The mattress ignites. The curtains melt. His bodyguard, Wasim Abu Shaban, is caught in the blast radius. His torso is torn open. He dies instantly. Security rushes in. They find smoke. They find fire. They find silence. The kind of silence that only history understands. Haniyeh's body is barely recognizable. His face is burned. His eyes are open, but lifeless. His jaw is shattered. His legs are twisted beneath him. The room smells of blood, plastic, and scorched fabric. The walls are blackened. The floor is soaked. And in the center, a man who survived wars, survived blockades, survived assassination attempts, now lies broken. This wasn't a random attack. This was surgical. The device was likely planted days earlier. It bypassed Iranian security. It was triggered remotely, possibly by satellite or drone signal. No warning, no trace, just a flash and a corpse. Within hours, Israel claimed responsibility. They called it a strategic strike, a message to Iran, a message to Hamas, a message to every militant leader who thought distance meant safety. But the message was louder than that. It said, "We can reach you anywhere, anytime, even in the heart of your strongest ally." He survived Gaza, he survived exile, he survived war, but in a quiet room, in a city that promised protection, death walked in, quiet, precise, inevitable. Another page turned red. And when the smoke cleared, the Middle East was no longer the same. He died in silence. But the echo of his death roared across borders, from Tehran to Gaza, from Tel Aviv to Beirut, from newsrooms to war rooms. Ismail Haniyeh, the man who symbolized resistance, diplomacy, and survival, was gone. And the Middle East was no longer the same. Iran was humiliated. Their guest, their ally, their symbol of defiance, killed inside a military compound, inside their capital, inside their walls. Security chiefs were fired, investigations launched, but the damage was done, the message was clear. Even Tehran bleeds. In the streets of Gaza, thousands gathered, flags flew at half-mast, speeches echoed through mosques, children held posters, old men wept, but beneath the mourning, there was fear. If Haniyeh could be reached, who was safe? Hamas scrambled. Leadership fractured. Factions argued. Some called for revenge. Others called for restraint. Qatar issued statements. Turkey condemned the attack. Iran promised retaliation. Israel remained silent. but the silence was louder than words. Haniyeh became more than a man. He became a martyr, a warning, a turning point. His death marked the end of an era, the era of underground diplomacy, of quiet negotiations, of leaders who could walk between war and peace. Now the gloves were off. The assassination redefined warfare. It wasn't about tanks. It wasn't about drones. It was about precision, timing, and psychology. It told every militant, every politician, every dissident, you are never out of reach, not in exile, not in ceremony, not in sleep. He was born in a refugee camp. He rose through fire. He led through siege, and he died in silence. But his death was not quiet. It was a scream, a shift, a red page in history, where every episode uncovers the moment a blade, a bullet, or a belief changed the fate of nations. Every empire believes it controls the shadows until the shadows move. If this story moved you, subscribe to the Red Pages of History and join us as we turn the next page. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode.